need to complete this project. So those who enrolled only for core Java, Java Foundation, on successfully completing the project, you will opt for the certificate. You are eligible to take a course certificate. Others, on successful completing the project, you are eligible to go to the next module, front-end module. And the project is the jukebox. Have you came across with the term jukebox?
Yes, ma'am. It's a list of songs.
Songs, music application.
Yes, ma'am.
Examples of any music applications, music app in our machine, in our
Ghana,
Ghana.
Pink.
Yes, sir. Yes, Abdul.
Ma'am, it's a Saban, Ghana.
Ghana. I'm not asking about web application. I'm asking about the app which you are installing in a mobile or a PC, and we are utilizing this for playing a music.
And Spotify.
Spotify.
Play
Yes.
music.
VLC, iTunes, many more are there. We are gonna to create a music application, but in console using Java. Whatever we have learned in Java application by you in IntelliJ environment, we are gonna to play music based on the user choice. Console application. I hope you know what is console application. Jukeboxes were invented even before digital music came into existence, and certainly much before streaming music became available. Music jukeboxes are commonly used in restaurants, bars to enable customers to choose what music they wanted to listen. Electronic and digital jukeboxes became prevalent from 70s, 80s. So nowadays it is fully computerized, and we are streaming the music from internet directly. So the jukebox challenge. Let us design the model jukebox that allows users to listen music and podcast. What do you mean by the term podcast?
Ma'am, series. Audio stories type.
These terms are new.
Audio. Ma'am, like audio stories, horror stories.
What to say, that story narrating or anything which irrespective of any field, it will narrate things, or your series, but mostly they are live streamed. This prime minister talk or anything related to government, or whichever, it is live streamed and it is kind of a talking music, as well as these kind of speech, storytelling, narrating dramas. So we are going to create a jukebox for music as well as this podcast, whichever is live streamed also. There are a lot of tracks, episodes on jukebox. Whether you are behind the wheel, working out, partying, relaxing, the right music or podcast is always at your fingertip. So music lovers, wherever you are, you want to listen to music. You can also browse through the artist, celebrities, or create the playlist. Just sit back. We want to create an application, modern jukebox application, to listen music and this podcast. Apart from that, there should be an option. First thing is you need to play the music, or it can be the podcast. Anything you need to play. Point number one. Also, we need to search the music based on artist name, celebrity name, and we want to create the playlist. What do you mean by playlist?
Favorite songs are created.
You will play. It is called playlist, ma'am.
Oh, again, both of your voices overlapped. Harsh, have you came across with the term playlist?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by playlist?
It is a bunch of collection of songs. Which
So your own favorite songs.
Yes, ma'am.
You can create playlist of your choice. You can give a beautiful name for the playlist. And you can put all your songs of your favorite under the playlist. For one user, can I have 3 playlists or 5 playlists?
Yes, ma'am.
Possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Assume that morning I want to put some devotional songs. I'll create a playlist. So morning and evening, I'll play that playlist where I have collection of all the devotional songs. In the other time, I may collect friends party. I'll create a playlist with the songs. Playlist is nothing but a group of songs put together under a name, unique name. So keep this point. You need to play the music, including podcast. Your application needs to allow you to search on basis of artist, celebrity, and playlist. In this challenge, you will design a modern jukebox that contains songs by various artists, podcast by celebrities. Songs under various artists and podcast based on celebrities. Make a note of it. Project scope is divided into 4 tasks. So the deadline is 24 hours. You just convert into working days, working time. Sorry, there were 4 tasks. Listen carefully. The first task is you have to create a jukebox contains catalog of songs by various artists. So you should have songs. So song, you think about it. What song information will have song? You can give a unique ID, song name, song artist name, genre, add different genre of song into catalog, song duration, release date, something like that in the year. Catalog can be categorized based on artist, genre, and name of the album. So task 1 is completely about songs. You should create a collection of songs, and the songs can be of various. When I said this, you need to think about both database table, song table, as well as Pojo class in front end. Isn't it or not? Guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Where I will store all the songs. I will store all the song details in a database table, in a song table. And how to retrieve the song? And you will store via Pojo song class. And song class will have song name, song ID, song artist name, song genre, and song file path. You cannot store the song, this MP4, MP3, MP4. You cannot store in your database table. So you can think on alternate like file path. So those things we will discuss. And collection of songs can be put under a list. Think about it. We will go slowly. So don't worry. There is no need in rushing up and completing the project. We have hardly 1 week time. So task 1 is completely about songs. Please look into the 3rd point. Homepage of the jukebox display all the songs. If I have 10 songs, when I run the project, it should display. There should be an option. Display all songs. It should display all the songs. After that, based on the user choice, ability to search for a music based on categories mentioned in point 2. Artist name, genre name, name of the song, name of the album. Even if it is required, you have to alphabetically sort and search. The first task is about song, storing the song in a proper way, retrieving the song, searching the song, and playing the song. Task 1 and task 2 will go in the same pace. Shall I continue with task 2?
Ma'am, display the song in tabular form.
Whatever the form. If you wish, you want to give a proper heading and you want to display how we will use to do, we will use it with toString, or you can use system.out.println. Displaying all the songs, all details is not new to us.
Yes,
From
ma'am.
challenge 1, foreign exchange, we keep on displaying the data. Very important, there should be an option, display song. When the user press that option, it should display song. Then search song. In search, it should ask the category, whether you want to search by artist name, song name, or genre name. When I give a genre as a melody, it should retrieve all the songs under melody. And based on song ID, I need to play the song. It is possible. Again, I'm telling, we have enough ample amount of time. We will go slowly. Only thing is, don't rush up in the last minute. Whatever the mistakes you did with course 5, course 6 project, don't repeat the same. So many of you were disappointed me. I had a very big hope on you people, but some of you have disappointed. So please adhere to all the days. So today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Even you can enjoy your weekend. Again, utilize Monday and Tuesday. When you are presenting it on Wednesday, ensure that you are putting your fulfillment of the project. Don't deviate. Happened is happened. You prove yourself in this project. Don't worry, every day, every task, I will give inputs. Only thing is, I want you to do the task. Don't get it from your friends. Your friends will not come along with you when you are sitting in an interview panel.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, is there a have they provided a CSV file for this, or we need to create a
I'll come, Harshad.
Okay.
No CSV, nothing. You download your favorite song.
Okay.
That part and all I'll discuss on Friday. Slowly we will go. So there is no CSV file. I will not share song. You will download some 10 songs or 20 songs and you keep it in your machine and you store the details in your database table. But I will give you what to do on every task. Shall I go to task 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, still lot more discussion will be there. Please listen. The first and second will go with the same pace. Task 2 is modern jukebox allows user to create a catalog of podcasts and to live stream music of various artists. So like song, as I said, story narrating, this narrating a drama, and this government related, all those things will come under the category podcast. So homepage of the jukebox display podcast by celebrity. So welcome to jukebox. First option is regarding songs. Second option is regarding podcast. So you download and have some podcast. Allows the user to search for podcast by celebrity name, date on which the podcast was published. So let's assume you want to hear a speech from Prime Minister. So you will be having some 4 podcasts. Either I need to search based on date or based on number, ID, unique ID. Songs podcast. Jukebox, but whereas only one thing I want to add in podcast is podcast will have episodes. If it is narrating a story, if you take one story will have 4 episodes. When I search for any podcast, it should come with all the 4 episodes. Task 3, Jukebox allows the user to create a playlist. So there will be an user. For sure, user registration, user login is mandatory for the project. I am keeping that as a mandatory. Let's assume you created the project. Everyone can view songs and play podcast, but only the registered user can able to create a playlist. So I am keeping both sign in and sign up as a mandatory module in your project. If you are a logged in user, you will be providing username and password or email ID password or phone number and password. I'm leaving to you. You got enough experience. If you are a new user, you should provide some basic details. Don't keep unnecessary details. We are not dealing banking application. We are dealing with music application. Whichever this information is relevant to music, you have that. You collect it. Name, mobile number, email ID, age. Something like that. And register it. And via their unique user ID and password, they will log in. Once they will log in, there should be an option of creating a playlist. So today I'm registering and login. I'm creating a playlist. Let's say melody, devotional. So melody will have some 10 songs. Devotional will have 4 songs. Tomorrow when I'm logging, I should have 2 playlists under my name. So one user can have any number of playlists. Allow the user to add songs or particular album or podcast to the created playlist. So let's assume if I created a playlist, a party song, I need to create a playlist. I already have assume like melody and devotional. And it allows me to create any number of playlists. I'm creating the third one as party songs. So, and my jukebox needs to allow songs and podcast to the playlist, either devotional or a party or the melody. So when I click melody, whatever the songs I added under melody playlist, it should display. User can create multiple playlists and view the content of the playlist. Task 1 is about song and its category. Task 2 is about podcast, celebrity and episodes. You can have date of published. Task 3 about users. There should be users, registered users in Jukebox. They need to create a playlist. And playlist will have songs and podcasts. User can have any number of playlists. Please look into the last point. User can create multiple playlists and can view the content of the playlist. Task 4.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
what was the user restrictions you said about an existing user can create playlists,
Only existing user can able to create the playlist.
while the other functions are available for both users and non-users, like play.
You restrict.
Okay, means
You restrict.
that's the only restriction you are setting.
I am telling. If I develop the project, if it is a no, if it he's a he's not registered. He's a third user. If he's a not registered user, if he can able to view songs. That's all.
Okay.
So only if he wants to play the song, he needs to be the registered user, and he can able to also create a playlist.
Okay, ma'am.
It's your project. Keep that in mind. I'm giving a complete freedom to you, but there should not be any logical loss. That's all. The design of the jukebox has been completed. Now the user can play the song from the created playlist. So if I am the registered user, I will allow to create a playlist. In my playlist only, I will play the song. Display all the song in playlist with all the details, name, ID, album, duration in a tabular format. Users must able to play of any song by using name, any name. So let's assume there may be many options. Enter the name of the song you want to play, enter the song ID you want to play. You give the choice. Let's assume user chosen song 5. Song 5 needs to play in your IntelliJ. That is possible. Audio input stream. We have a Java class called as audio input stream class, which is used to play an audio in Core Java console application. We will not touch all those by today or tomorrow. It will take time. Just listen to me, follow the instruction. The current song that is playing with the time, minute, seconds, and depend upon your playlist, it needs to queue up. So in a audio input stream, there were various options: forward, pass, resume, shuffle, and loop the song. So we have all the options available when you are playing the song. So as I said, audio input stream class we can use to play the song. This is a reference material. I'll share you after some time. So once if you are developing, so suggested approach, whatever the thing you have learned from day 1 to last week, you need to implement all. So you will use object-oriented database, MySQL you will use, data structure you will use, all the Java feature you will use. You will break down, review, and refactor. You will not implement everything in one Java class and one method. So object-oriented functionalities, it's mandatory you need to create a Maven-based application. So guys, today not today, probably you will start by Friday only. So we have some documentation work to do by today and tomorrow. So you will be creating a Maven-based project. So Maven is having lots of purpose, but we used Maven for testing, enabling testing. You remember? So when you are creating a project, so I want all of you to create Maven-based project. So why Maven-based? Because I want all of you to add testing. You need to test your application. You need to add testing class under various test cases. Test cases needs to test your methods. So it should be modular approach. Every method should have a parameter and return type. Step 1, design discussion. Today we will do the same. So let's assume a project is having front end and back end. So which we will start with what? Either front end or back end. Which we will start first?
Backend.
Yes. Don't forget this. We will start with back end. Here it is MySQL. Likewise, in your project also, we will always start with backend services first. So today, it's 3 o'clock. So again, I'm repeating. We have lots of rules to implement in your IntelliJ. If you are creating a project, you will be creating Maven-based project. Not only source, we need a testing. We will use MySQL to store all the details of song and all the details of users, user login and register. So as a first step, you want to create your ER diagram. So this time, without getting a sign off on ER diagram, no one will start creating a table. So from yesterday, what I have observed is you will present an ER diagram in your PowerPoint. Not all. Many of you are going on a track. I'm happy to see that. But few, knowingly or unknowingly, I don't know. So assume like there is a PowerPoint presentation and you have an ER diagram. So what is the use of ER diagram in your PowerPoint presentation for your project?
To explain the back end of the project.
It's not explanation part. When you are developing a project, if you have an ER diagram, what we will do with ER diagram?
Ma'am, explain the type of relation it had among the entities. Okay.
Based on your ER diagram only, we will be creating a tables in database. Let's assume if I have 4 entities with attributes and relationship, those 4 entities will be converted to 4 tables. Those relationship will be converted to foreign key. All the attributes will become a column. I will see a ER diagram with 3 entities. But if I look into your work, MySQL workbench, I can see some 5 tables. Not all I'm telling you. Once your ER diagram is ready, let's assume in ER diagram, you created, I don't want to see this mistake. Let's assume you created user and you created for example, username, user unique ID, unique password, mobile number, and age. And here, this is your primary key. Assume like there is an entity. What you will do here? So assume like this is an entity. And these are all attributes. If you have an ER diagram with the entity, when I look into your database, I should see a table called as, there should be a table called as
User.
How many columns should be there for user?
5.
5. And the name should be same. So I should see 5 columns. And out of that, UID should have primary key. Apart from that, you can apply check constraint, not null constraint, unique. I don't have a problem. Read the requirement from the problem statement and create a project design. As I said, we will divide into various tiers. Step 1, you need to identify all the classes, attributes and behavior, relationship among class, reusability of class, which is nothing but class diagram. Same thing is applicable for class diagram. If you have a class diagram, song, I assume like you have created a song, and under song, you have song ID, song name, song artist name, and song duration. I should have these many 4 variables with the same variable name, getter, setter, constructor, toString, everything in my Pojo. Demonstrate the usage of data within the project. If RDBMS is present, you need to represent with ER diagram. Demonstrate the flow of the project and how the user is interacting with the working of the project. So as a first step today, you will be starting with ER diagram first. So today complete ER diagram. Tomorrow I will give you hint for class diagram. So after backend database, model the class attribute behavior, structure of class, OOPS concept to be used, attributes, getter, setter, methods. We will start here. Implement the function, appropriate getter, setter, private variable, business logics, methods, and whatever the coding you want, you can use. You can use conditional construct, looping construct, array, strings, exception, data structure, collection, and Java 8 features. It is recommendable. Mandatory, we need to use collection. And Java 8 features also recommended to use. If required, I'm leaving to you. If you feel like all the songs details should be there in files, you create a file and store all the URL. If required, use file handling, read, write. If required, use JDBC. If you are using file handling, JDBC, I don't think it's required. But it is recommendable to use JDBC to overcome most of the problems. And last point, testing is mandatory. Even though you develop the project, you create a test case. So if there is any errors and bugs, fix it. Any checklist errors, ensure that project is running. This we often used to do. So that's what tomorrow afternoon we will have a recap session on OOPS, just to refresh, recollect all the OOPS concepts so that you can implement the same in your project. So don't forget these things. Once if you start the project, after diagrams, naming convention, notations, loops. So project modules development rules. Have a proper variable name. Ensure that whenever if you are declaring a variable, use it. If you are not using it, remove it. Use proper open close. It is always recommendable if you have not redirected to the block system.out.println and try to print E, then only you will get what exception you caught. Basic debugging, you have learned a lot, try to use. So what do you mean by hard-coded value? Avoid hard-coded.
The values we are defined, not
So
right.
I may give array with any number of values. We will use collection. So don't give length directly. Don't give 7. Instead, you can use array length method, length property, sorry. So don't give hard-coded values, always use functions. Length function, length property, size method. Unnecessary excessive usage of looping decision, try to avoid it. If something you feel like common, you put under a function and call. Something is common in a class, you define under a class block. So don't create object inside a block or a loop. Always create a class variable, class object.
Means we have to create global variable, not local variable.
If you take, I can use only within for loop. This experience also you got from the previous project. What?
And ma'am, if it is in method, is it
What route planner? In route planner, you created a route list. If you use within a function, first function, you can't use it in second function. But if you initialized under a class, you can use throughout all the functions of the class. Keep this point when you started with Java code. Yes, someone said something.
no, yes, doubt free.
No, I will not. I'll not go ahead with next slide. I'll stop till 25th slide. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We will have it on Friday afternoon. Because all are related to your coding. So I will remind you once if you started with coding. So just to recollect you. So based on the task, I already shared the PDF. So based on the task, I want you to create an ER diagram. So create an ER diagram, share to us, get the sign off, then you proceed with class diagram. Again, I'm repeating, there should be song, that I need to display song detail, podcast, user needs to create playlist, and user can create multiple playlists. Each playlist will have multiple songs. That's what I'm telling. I am the user of my jukebox. I have two playlists, devotional and melody. I can create the third playlist, which is the party. If I take melody, melody is having 6 songs. So it's 3 o'clock. I know few of you wants to present your course 6 project. Please raise your hand. I remember Sukrit